everybody, welcome back to another Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Cardwell.
And we're back today to showcase one of the other decks from the format, from the meta, really. It was one of the decks that won in one of the other international Force World tournaments. It was a really cool deck to see, so I'm going to just showcase it on the channel. We did name it Stonehenge, because it's all about the stones. That's what it does. It's pretty neat. But before we get into it, guys, I remind you that we do have a Patreon down below. Go check it out. It just takes $1 to give us some love and support. We greatly appreciate it. In that Patreon, you'll find access to our Discord. You'll find access to our videos early, and all the early and uncut, and all the other fun stuff that we have in the Discord. So go check it out.
And also to remind you that we do have an actual app for Force of Will. So if you want to build any decks, just go and type in FOW Grimoire in your Apple or Android, and you'll be able to pop that app up. And it's just a deck builder. We created it ourselves, and we put it up. And of course, we got the delay of the new set coming out, but it still will be ready for you to build new decks when it comes out. So it should be fun. Keep a lookout for that.
All right, so let's delve into the secrets of Stonehenge, shall we? So our first one we got is Grusbalesta. He is the Black Six Sage ruler. I know, we're throwing it off, but hey, it's what it is.
Oh yeah.
So, Black Six Sage ruler, he has 2 black and 1, tag 6 sages. If you call your first Magic Stone in this game, you may search your Magic Stone deck for a card and put it in the field instead. If you do, shuffle your Magic Stone decks. And whenever a Magic Stone enters the field under your control, or enters the field from a call of a J ruler you control, it gains tap, produce a moon, or any will of any attribute until the end of turn. So you get to have free mana of whatever you want. And then you can also tap, banish a stone, and get the top card of your Magic Stone into play. And he did get eroded that you have to actually banish a stone to get a stone.
Yep.
So know that you can't just free cheat a stone.
Yeah, exactly.
And on the Judgment side, he gets +2/+2 for each different name of all Magic Stones you control. This card gains Eternal as long as you control 5 or more Magic Stones. And then Magic Stones you control get tap, produce moon, or will of one will of any attribute. So it's pretty sweet just to be like, hey, cool, here's a lot of stones, and they all get big. Or I get big.
Yes. The next one, of course, Almerius, a Judgment of a white, and 1. She has also a tag team of 6 sages. And if you would set your starting lot, set it that much, plus 3,000 instead. So, you know, back in the day, we're doing 2,000, now we're doing plus 3,000. So,
yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous. You may pay 1 less to do a Judgment of rulers you control. Tap, target J Resonator gains +2/+2 until end of turn. And of course, with her flip side, when you do Judgment, she is a flying 6/8. Enter, put a target light non-magic card, chant card, light alternative card with non-chant part. So many hyphens in this sentence. Part from your graveyard and into the field. You can pay a white. J Resonators you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. So you just pump up the whole team.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Essentially, you're putting 1 card into play with this card when it flips, and it's pretty sweet. It's a pretty fun card just to be like, hey, cool. The first creature we have is Mikage Reiya. She's one of the best cards in the format until it rotates, which is going to rotate very, very soon, so know that.
And right tier.
Yeah. But she is 1 black, quick cast, 4/4 flying. Enter, search your deck for a darkness card and put it in the graveyard, then shuffle your deck. Vampires you control gain drain. When this card is banished as an additional cost of a mage art or of a mage art you control, it goes back to your hand. Mostly you're going to go search for a card and put it in the graveyard. That's her whole purpose.
It's beautiful. And the next one is Witch with the Pointy Hat. It's a 1 green, 4/4, quick cast, enter, prevent all damage that would be dealt to by target entity until end of turn. You can do Seal 4, which if you have 4 stones on the field, you have enter, cancel target activated automatic ability you control, your opponent controls, this is the fair low right, pretty much how this goes.
Next up is Witch of the Fallen Kingdom. It is 1 black, quick cast, 4/4. Your opponent cannot search their deck. Seal 5, you get a witch from outside the game, put it into play.
Yep.
It's pretty sweet, pretty easy. We've seen it played a lot. We played a lot because it's a really good card.
It's just so good. Next one, though, is Charlotte, Inheritor of the 7th Power. It's 2 white, quick cast, flying, barrier, darkness. You may pay a white less to play this card if your opponent played a God's Art this turn, which happens a lot nowadays. So enter, you may reveal a light chant with a total cost 1 from outside the game and play it. And by playing its mana cost, put it back outside the game as it resolves. You may not reveal an alternative card this way. This card gains +1/+1 for each guidance counter of entities you control, which will not happen.
Yeah. Next up is the Guardian Dragon of the Kingdom. He is a green and 1 for a 3/3 with flying. This card gets +2/+2 for each Magic Stone you control. And then enter, put the top card of your Magic Stone deck into the field rested. So it helps you get extra stones, and he gets bigger for each one that's different.
And the next card we have is a classical favorite of mine, of course, is Aramaki and Tetsuko. It's a 2/6 3-drop Dive 2, which if you just banish them from your hand, your opponent banishes a Resonator. Enter, draw 2 cards. So simple as that.
Yeah.
Just your opponent banishes a Resonator for 2. That's what you need it for.
And then later you can play them and draw cards.
Yep.
It's pretty nice.
Simple as that.
Next is Tsuiya, the Curse Spawn of the Star / Curse of Ragnarok. It is 1 black for a 4/4. Enter. Target player banishes a non-Magic Stone, non-J-Rule entity. Put X counters on this dude, where X is the entity's cost. Or you pay a black less to play a card's name, Curse of Ragnarok. And his chance side, which is Curse of Ragnarok, is Remnant. Look at your opponent's hand, choose a card, they remove that card from the game. This card is super good.
Mm-hmm.
It also gets rotated out, and Aramaki gets rotated out. Like, a lot of this deck's going to get rotated out, but it's a super good deck up until that point.
Yep. Well, might as well play what you can. The next one is Lumia, Princess of Rebirth and Wings of Darkness. It's a 1-drop, quick cast, 2/5. You may gain life to the amount of life you lost in any way. Loss of life, prevent, or payment of life and reduction of life due to damage. This turn, draw a card. Chant, quick cast, remove the target Resonator with a total cost 2 or less from the game. If this card was awakened, put its Lumia, Princess of Rebirth card in the field, and instead of putting this card into its owner's library. So, with this, does this fight Inferno? Is this why this would be good?
It can get around any kind of life loss change or just in general big swing.
Yeah.
And people are playing Angel of False Life, so you're just like, cool, no, get that life back or whatever.
Yeah, just any of that.
Next up is Hunting Angel. It is 2 white and 2 for a 12/12 flyer. Enter, destroy target Resonator your opponent controls. You gain life equal to its defense. Or you pay a white, discard this card, destroy target attacking Resonator. And it's got Fallen, and you gain life. You deal that much damage, but you don't have a way to really do Fallen. But you're really just using it to kill a Resonator that's attacking mostly.
Just solid in general.
Mm-hmm.
And Geryon, of course, is 2 green, 2 black, and 1. 15/15. He's a classic. Swiftness, precision, flying. Your opponent cannot play spells with total cost 1 or less. And a green, remove this card from your hand and cancel target spell cost 1 or less. And B, black, remove the card from your hand and destroy target Resonator with total cost 1 or less.
He's super good.
It's just good. Just any deck that you can throw him in.
And the final creature of the main deck is Ultra Magic Stone Golem. He is 1 black and 8 for a 20/20 with precision and pierce. You pay 2 less to play the card for each different name among all magic stones you control. Enter, destroy all J-Res in your opponent's control equal to this attack.
Which will happen.
Yeah. This card is super good, and I think this card's only going to get better next set.
And the first spell that we have is number 13, Anti-Magic. It's green and white. Quick cast, cancel target spell. It has a seal 4, so if you have 4 stones, you may pay a white less. If it's seal 7, you pay a green less. Simple as that.
Castle of Beatrice. It is a black and a blue for an enchantment that sits in your graveyard. It's most of what's useful. Cards in your graveyard named Castle of Beatrice. Cards not named Castle of Beatrice in your graveyard cannot be targeted by spells or abilities and cannot be removed by the game by any effect. You can pay a black and a blue, put a Resonator from your graveyard into your hand. Play this ability only if it's in the graveyard. So this card is super good and super useful in the graveyard, which is why you have Reiya's to be able to put it in there.
Yep.
So you just get things back.
Just get it done. Next is Duet of Light. It's a 2 white chant. Choose one. You may choose an additional one for each recovered J-Ruler you control. You can gain 2,000 life, which just gets you back up there again. Put target non-magic stone, non-chant card, or alternative card with total cost 3 or less from your graveyard into the field. You may only play a non-chant part of the alternative cost, of course, because it has to hit the field. And put 4 1/1 counters on each J-Resonators you control. There you go. So many options.
Mm-hmm. And you also get another option in Duet of Darkness. It is 2 black. Choose one. Choose an additional one for each recovered J-Ruler. Put target Resonator from graveyard into your hand. Your opponent discards a card, or Resonators your opponent control get -2/-2 for each different name of all magic stones you control. Again, we're playing a lot of magic stones. Card's gonna be super strong.
Yep. And now we have, of course, Table Manners, which is 2 green and 1 chant. Destroy a J-Resonator that has or shares the highest total cost among all J-Resonators your opponent controls. You gain life equal to the total of its attack and defense. Then if you draw cards equal to its cost, which is pretty amazing. And you can pay a green to discard this card, target J-Resonator you control, and target J-Resonator your opponent controls, deal damage equal to its attack to each other. So it's a little fight card.
Yeah, and the reason this card is so strong is because it is a pseudo-targeted kill that gets around Castle of Carlina.
Oh, nice.
Because it does, its top part doesn't actually target, it just says destroy a creature that shares the highest cost, so it gets to kill a Geryon that is targeted, that is protected by Castle.
Yeah. pretty solid.
And the final card of the deck is the final stance. It costs 1 of each color. For an enchantment, you can play this only if you have Astral Attack, Defense, or Magic Stance in play, but we don't care because we're cheating it into play.
Yep.
Enter, if you don't control another final stance, take an extra turn after this one. So like we said with Almerius' Gods or Judgment, you get to bring a light card into play. This is a light card, so you're like, cool, I get to take an extra turn. And Mikage Reiya goes and puts that in the graveyard because it is a black card. So she only states that a black card, so she doesn't care.
Yep.
So you get to set it up and just be like, cool, I get an extra turn, now I kill you with my big giant.
Yep.
That's what this deck does, and it's pretty funny.
Like Alpha Strike and then Alpha Strike again.
The stones are pretty simple. We're playing a lot of different stones because, you know, we have to.
Yeah.
We have Magic Stone of Knowledge, Magic Stone of Hearts, Heaven's Rift, Heat Ray, Gusting Skies, Blasting Waves, Black Silence, Adiractus Memoria, and Amadeus the Holy Crystal. We're playing a lot of one-of stones because the more one-of stones you have, the better your life is.
Yep.
We don't really have like sideboard, but we do have a couple of the cards that Charlotte needs to go get, so that's why I have them in here. One is the 7th boon, Amadeus the Holy Spear. It is 1 white, quick cast. Remove all Resonator tokens from the game or cancel target God's Art.
Yep.
This helps you fight Satan because you can be like, hey, cool, remove Satan. Neat.
Done.
Or all non-Resonator tokens.
Yeah.
Or no, it does get removed tokens. Yeah.
Yeah, remove all
It removes your
Resonator
token. It removes your Satan. You're like, hey, cool, get
Thanks,
out.
Bye. And then you're dead. The next one is, of course, is Intimidation. It's also the 1-drop. Quick cast, prevent all damage that would be dealt by Resonators this turn. It helps with against the Alpha Strike with all the Fallen Angels.
And then last, we have Dispelling Stone, which is 1 white, destroy target addition, draw a card, shuffle this into its owner's deck as it resolves. But with Charlotte, it overrides this, and you're like, hey, cool, go back out.
Yep.
Overall, this deck looks super fun to play. Pretty excited to showcase it and see what it can do. It's going to be a little weird on our brawls, but we're probably going to do this one time on this because we're getting close to the new set, so...
Yep. And we'll just have a classic tag team match. Demons versus... what?
Six Sages versus
Sages.
Fallen
Yeah.
Angels, so it'll be a fun game to showcase and see what it can do.
Yep.
With that, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see y'all again next time.
Bye.
Later. Also, guys, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel, and then hit that bell for any future notifications that you have for our videos.
And we go ahead and give a big thank you to our fans for over the years, especially our Mythic and Above Patreon followers.
Thank you, Ryan.
With that, we love you. Thank you for your support.